The best way to scale your business and get more done is to start automating the repetitive work that's eating up your time. Hi, I'm Tom from XRay Tech, and I've been building automations for nearly a decade for myself and for my clients. Based on that experience, I'm going to share 5 of the best tools you can use to automate your work today. With good workflow design, these tools can multiply your productivity 10 times over, all while reducing human error. Let's jump right into the list so you guys can start saving time and automating your work now. Let's start with the biggest, most popular automation provider around. It's called Zapier. In short, it connects the apps you use every day. So when something happens in one app, automated actions are able to occur in other apps. They call automations zaps, and you can connect all of these different tools together without writing any code at all. So let's ground this in an example. A trigger would be when a lead fills out a form on your website. That could be built in HubSpot or Webflow or whatever you build your website in. Then the automated actions that occur could be sending a templated response via Gmail and notifying the sales team of a new lead through Slack. Those are 2 automated actions that follow the trigger of somebody filling out a form on your website. There's also other types of triggers too, like scheduling. Every day or every week or every month, you could trigger an automation to run based on a schedule. There's also something called a webhook trigger, which is a little more advanced, but you can think of it like robot email. At the click of a button, you can instantly trigger an automation to run. Chances are, Zapier can connect with every piece of software you use every day. That means things like Google Drive, Sheets, Docs, the whole of G Suite, any Microsoft app like Word and Excel, HubSpot, Salesforce, or other CRMs, Shopify, Magento, or other e-commerce platforms, ChatGPT, Claude, and other AI prompting tools, and most social media platforms. There's almost 8,000 integrations in Zapier today, and they're adding new ones every day. So chances are your apps are on there too. Zapier has this reputation of being number 1 because it's super simple to use for non-technical people. It has a simple UI, drop-down menus, buttons, simple text inputs, all without code required. You can even start automations with an AI prompt, and the AI prompt can help you build the bones of the automation. For power users, you can get much more advanced, using things like filters, loops, even custom code where you want it. So there's a lot you can do with Zaps, or automations by Zapier. Beyond automation, Zapier does have some tools as well. Tables, which is equivalent to like a database, interfaces, which is, the actual interface that you see and can click on, chatbots, and a couple other things. But these tools beyond automation have their own pricing plans. Speaking of pricing, there is a free plan available, but it's extremely limited to just 2 steps inside of your Zap. That means a trigger and a single action. Most automations are going to have multiple actions that are conducted based on one trigger. So you're gonna need to shell out about $20 a month for the Pro plan to get the most out of Zapier. But if you're building automations that save you time, you're gonna have no problem recuperating that $20 from your day-to-day work. To get started with Zapier, check out my beginner's guide. I'll show you the basics and how to build your first Zap. Now, I've been doing this for about 4 years now, so there's a ton of Zapier tutorials on the channel. So check it out because chances are we've done a tutorial about apps that you already use every day. If you're looking for something similar to Zapier, but generally a little bit cheaper and maybe a little bit more technical, then consider our next app, Make. Just like Zapier, Make is used to create automated workflows. There is a trigger followed by actions that you can conduct in the apps you use every day. Make does have fewer integrations, but those integrations tend to be a little bit deeper, meaning you can do more with no code. And it's really not a big deal. Currently, with over 2,000 apps supported on Make, it still supports many of the apps that you're probably using, like HubSpot, G Suite, Microsoft Suite, a whole bunch of big name apps. Make is still going to have support for those. So unless you're dealing with industry-specific tooling that's unique to your industry, chances are Make can still help. The interface for Make is not quite as intuitive as the interface for Zapier. It does use more technical language throughout the UI, and it's going to be a little bit bigger of a learning curve. Now, the flip side is, if you have a little bit of coding experience like HTML or CSS, or you're not scared of technical language, then you're going to be able to build a lot more of a complex workflow with Make a lot faster. Make is solely focused on being an automation provider. So there is no extra features like interfaces or AI chatbots or anything like that. You know what you're getting with Make. a dedicated workflow automation platform. Basically, Make is an alternative to Zapier that will generally be a lot cheaper. To get started with Make, you can check out my beginner's guide where I show you how to build your first automated scenario step by step. And we've made tons of Make tutorials on this channel, so definitely check them out if you're excited to get started. If Make and Zapier look interesting but don't satisfy your inner software engineer, you might be interested in Pipedream. Now, Pipedream is similar to Zapier and Make. You build automations with triggers, actions, and searches, but it kind of bends our no-code rule a bit. It's a little bit more of a low-code app. This is ideal for highly technical users and technical teams, especially product teams. People who can write code and want to build projects faster but avoid self-hosting. If things like DigitalOcean or AWS are not unfamiliar to you, Pipedream is going to be real nice. There's color coding, suggestions as you type, and support for multiple languages. Unlike Zapier and Make, you can fine-tune technical settings with Pipedream as well. For example, you can change the timeout window for requests made to external apps. This is especially applicable when you're dealing with an AI prompt to ChatGPT, for example. If you need more than 30 seconds to wait for the response to come back from ChatGPT, Pipedream is going to be your ideal automation provider. Pipedream is not a great choice if you're strictly a no-coder. There are relatively few no-code integrations compared to Zapier and Make, but if you're the kind of person who wants to get their hands dirty, maybe you work on a product team or you work at a product company, and you're trying to quickly build powerful custom automations, Pipedream is going to be a very familiar place for your product team to build. And guess what? I've got a beginner's guide for this one too. What can I say? I love helping people get started with awesome new tools. Our next app is focused on an entirely different type of automation. It's not about building linear trigger action workflows. This one is all about synchronizing two databases together. If you've ever tried to maintain the same set of data in two spots, you know how difficult this is. There are errors, duplicates, missing data. It is a huge pain in the ass. Thankfully, there are tools out there that make this problem really easy to solve. Tools like Whalesync. Whalesync is all about syncing databases. All you have to do is pick your databases, select one-way or two-way sync, and then choose how often it runs. Whalesync handles the rest. It keeps everything up to date automatically in the background. You can even build several syncs to manage all of your data together across multiple key apps. Think Notion or Airtable or even Webflow. There's not a whole lot to say besides that. It is a very focused tool and very effective at its goal. Now, it does something that you really can't easily build with Zapier, Make, or Pipedream. Syncing is always a problem on automation providers like that, but you're not going to be able to do the conditional logic that you could do in Zapier, Make, or Pipedream. So it's a trade-off. It's a different tool that solves a different problem. If you want to get started with Whalesync, I unfortunately don't have a beginner's guide for you, but I do have a tutorial that should work well to get started. If you want to see a beginner's guide, let us know in the comments down below. For our last tool, we're going to go in a little bit of a different direction again. It's less of a standalone automation tool and more of an app to support all of your other automations. It's a no-code database app called Airtable. Airtable lets you build sophisticated databases. You're able to link records between tables and run advanced formulas. It also allows you to rearrange the same information into custom views, so you can look at the information as a Kanban or a timeline or a card view. There's a whole bunch to choose from. You can even build interfaces based on that data to share with your team so they can contribute without being able to mess up anything under the hood. The best part is, Airtable works great as an operational database to power other automations. If you're using Zapier and Make, it's going to be even more powerful if you have the reliability of a flexible, powerful operational database built in Airtable to feed information into those automations. It's going to help you keep everything organized and is a great place to actually launch the automation. You can think of Airtable as the air traffic controller for all of your automations, making sure all the information goes to where it needs to without any collisions in the sky. Plus, it has some native automation features on its own too. It's not very advanced or sophisticated, but if you get comfortable with webhooks, you're going to have a seamless handoff between Zapier, Airtable, and Make if you need to, and it's going to be extremely flexible for launching automations in other apps. I've got a two-part beginner's guide for Airtable if you want to get into the weeds. There's a lot to cover there because it is a fully fledged enterprise-grade application. We go over the basics in part 1 and then interfaces and automations in part 2. Thanks for sticking around. Here's a bonus app for you. It's called Softr. Softr is a great way to convert an Airtable database into a public web app. It supports user sign-in, dynamically sorting data, and even adding a Stripe integration to process payment, all without code. It's a super easy way to build a fully functional web app without being a developer. If you want to see an example, check out lowcodeengineers.com. We built that site entirely based on Airtable and Softr. That wraps up today's list for the best automation tools available right now. In the description, you'll find a resources board with links to all of these apps, as well as free guides we've made to help you get started. I really encourage you to check out these apps today and start creating more time for yourself and for your team. Leave us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and we are at XRay Automation on basically every social media platform. You can find all of our content and learn more about our services on our website at xray.tech. For now, I've got to go, but until next time, find your focus and stay in flow.